Good afternoon, Ms. Kloss.
Hello.
Thanks for joining us today, Louis Vuitton.
Well, sure. Thank you for having me.
Let's start this off easy. Tell me a little about yourself.
I am a creative thinker who likes to travel. I like food and trying new things and reading a good book.
I enjoy travel as well. Tell me an experience that you've had while traveling that has changed your view of the world.
Well, sure. 2 years ago, my sophomore year in college, I traveled and studied and lived abroad in Paris. I was there for about 6 months, and this really taught me a lot about myself, my interests, things I did not like. It really taught me to open up my mind, and it really made me realize that the world is so small but so large as well.
And that it is.
Absolutely.
So this is a PR position with Louis Vuitton. Tell me what you know about our company.
Sure. I know what attracts me to the brand specifically is the quality. You pay a fine price, but you get a fine product. And I think that the name really speaks for itself, but it also holds for itself. If you're gonna buy this product, you know that it's gonna last a long time. And not a lot of brands can say that for themselves.
Quality, we are proud of that. So this is an entry-level position, but I would like to know a little about where you would see yourself in 5 or 10 years.
Sure. I would like to start from the bottom and work my way up to learn a lot, but I would like to, in 5 years, be the president of the PR department, and in 10 years, I would really like to see myself as the president of a fashion house one day.
That is an ambitious goal. I see that from your resume here, that you've worked in the fashion industry before with an internship and a couple of jobs. Can you tell me a little about that?
Well, sure. It was my summer of 2013. I had my first internship with a nail polish company called Deborah Littman, and her product was specifically for kind of the animal lovers, healthy. Certain products have formaldehyde, and this was like a vegan of nail polish basically. And I really enjoyed, trying all the different nail polishes, but most importantly, the connections I made there were very important to see why it's important to put yourself out there. My second internship was with Deborah Littman. It was with Diane von Furstenberg, and I did that for 2 summers in a row, and I really enjoyed that. At first I was very nervous, and going into it, you don't know what to expect, and you kind of have these expectations that people expect a lot out of you, and you want to show up and work hard and prove yourself. But I really enjoyed my 2 summers there, and really had realized that the switching from the beauty industry to the fashion industry it was a very good move for me.
I'm glad to hear that. So tell me how your previous boss and coworkers would describe you.
I would say ambitious, very too cheery in the mornings, but positive. I really like to keep a positive energy going. If I see that someone's having a bad day or struggling with something, I like to take that moment and, talk to the person and talk them through it, or just send positive vibes that way, because it's like a domino effect. If you can have a positive effect on someone's day, it goes a really long way.
I think that's a very nice sentiment. Would you say that positivity is your greatest strength, or what would you describe as your greatest strength?
I would say perseverance. I, in high school, played a lot of sports, and I was never the best. I was never the most rehearsed ballerina. I was never, the top of the charts on anything, but I really worked my way from the beginner level to the competitive level. And that was something that I really learned, that never stop. Never let anything stop you from competing and doing your best.
Perseverance is key to achieving your goals. What are your career goals? Where would you see yourself in many years?
Well, sure. As I mentioned, I really would like to see myself as the president of a fashion house, leading, empowering women, and promoting positive things, positive image to people all over the world through a brand. And I think that that's something specifically that Louis Vuitton does that stands out to me compared to other brands. You guys stand for luxury, but quality and that lifestyle that if you work hard, you can obtain and you can get there. And I think that that's something very admirable about the company.
And we're proud of that as a part of our brand image. I asked you previously what was you thought your greatest strength was. Now I have to ask, how would you describe your greatest weakness?
My greatest weakness? Well, I often I give it everything that I have, but I sometimes overdo it. I will come in too early in the morning and stay too late at night, or come in on a Saturday and stay late. And my boss will say, "Well, no one's there. Why? What's going on?" I sometimes become a little obsessive when there's something I know I need to do and want to do, and strive to get things done.
That is a good quality. We like to get things done around here. So, tell me about a challenge that you experienced in your life and how you overcame it.
Sure. Well, growing up, I was always the taller of my friends, my classmates, and being a girl, that's always it's hard, when you're different from everyone else. But I one day just realized, someone sat me down, I think it was one of my sisters, and they sat me down and said, being different is it's beautiful. Once you can overcome your differences with other people and you can learn to work with them and be positive about what's different between you and someone else. It's very hard, and it's hard to teach that, especially at a young age, but once you overcome things like that, it's easy sailing after that.
I think that's very true. With this job in public relations, there is a potential of having other people work for you. So can you describe where you've exhibited leadership in your past and tell me that story?
Well, sure. In college, I was in a sorority, and I was never a sorority type, or I never really liked being a part of a big group of girls. And often I found that it was challenging because with girls comes drama. One day, we were at a chapter meeting, and I had stood up and said to everyone that at the time there had been a lot of things going on Facebook, negative comments between sisters, and I brought it to everyone's attention and just really, capitalized on the idea that we are women, we stand together. Instead of tearing each other down, we should build each other up. And it wasn't easy because, it's hard to preach to people because it's hard to stand up to something that's happening instead of just going with what's going on. But by doing that, you're sending a stronger message, and in my opinion, that was a big sign of leadership.
That's very empowering. That is a good example. But it also sounds a little stressful. So tell me how you deal with stressful situations or high pressure.
Pressure. Most of the time, I work well under pressure. I like the feeling of stress and not knowing how it's going to end or when things are going to get done, but doing it and giving it all that you have and in that moment, and once it's done, you feel great. The pressure sometimes is what keeps you going, the adrenaline. It's exciting.
That is true. I can see that. I can see that about you from meeting you today. Well, thank you for coming in today.
Thank you for having me.
We're going to be making a decision the next couple weeks, and I'm sure we'll be talking again, but it was a pleasure speaking with you and meeting you.
Thank you so much.
And thanks for coming in.
Thank you.